What if I told you that the most effective way to protect yourself from a dangerous fall after 70 is not a single thing you can buy? It is not a grab bar. It is not a pair of grip socks. It is not some expensive balance gadget you saw advertised online. And it is not a brand new exercise routine that takes an hour a day. The truth is simpler than all of that. It is one small change to something you have done every single day of your life, the way you walk. And here is the part that may surprise you. If you're over 70, there's a very good chance you have been doing it wrong for years now, and nobody ever told you. Stay with me for the next few minutes, because what I am about to share could change how safely you move through your own home, starting with your very next step. My name is Dr. Jason, and I have spent more than 20 years working as a physical therapist with adults over 70. In that time, I have seen one pattern repeat more often than almost any other. A person comes into my clinic after a fall. They are shaken. They feel embarrassed, almost apologetic. And they say something like this: "Dr. Jason, I do not understand it. I was just walking across my own living room. I was not rushing. I was not doing anything unusual." And do you know what? They are telling the truth. They were not doing anything unusual. And that is exactly the problem. Because the way they had been walking every single day for years had quietly turned into something risky. It happened so slowly that they never noticed it. And no one ever pointed it out. Today, I'm going to point it out for you. I'm going to show you the walking mistake that quietly leads to falls after 70, why it puts you at real risk, and the one simple change that can begin protecting you immediately. No equipment, no gym, just one adjustment you can start using today. Before we go further, if this channel has been helpful to you, I would be grateful if you tap that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a video made just for you. And I would love to hear from you right now. If you're willing to try this one change today, type the number 1 in the comments. If you're not sure yet, type 0 and tell me what is holding you back. I read these, and they help me make better videos for you. So let me describe something to you. Now, I want you to be honest with yourself as you picture it. Imagine someone walking across a room. Their steps are short, much shorter than they used to be. Their feet barely lift off the floor. Instead of stepping cleanly, they sort of slide forward, low to the ground, almost dragging. Their shoulders are leaning a little forward. Their eyes are pointed down at the floor in front of them, and their arms are barely moving at their sides. They're walking carefully, slowly, deliberately, because somewhere deep down, the floor just does not feel as trustworthy as it once did. Does any of that sound familiar? Maybe it is you. Maybe it is someone you love. This pattern has a name. It is called a shuffle gait, and it is one of the most common walking patterns I see in adults over 70. Here is what makes it so sneaky. It does not happen overnight. It creeps in slowly. It usually starts after one small scare, a near stumble, a moment where you caught yourself on the counter. And in response, completely naturally, you become a little more careful. Your steps get a little shorter. You stop lifting your feet quite so high. You lean forward just a bit to watch the ground. And over the months, that caution hardens into a habit. The shuffle becomes your normal way of walking. And here is the cruel twist. What feels safer is actually far more dangerous. Here is the mechanism. When your feet barely clear the floor, even the smallest thing becomes a trip hazard. The edge of a rug, a slightly raised threshold between two rooms, a small crack in the sidewalk, a wrinkle in the carpet. Normally, these would be nothing. But when your foot is sliding along just a fraction of an inch above the ground, there is no room for error. Your toe catches, and because your steps are short and your weight is already tipped forward, your body has no time to recover and nowhere to put your foot to catch yourself. The fall happens before your mind even registers that something went wrong. But the shuffle is telling you something deeper, too. When your feet stop lifting, it usually means the muscles that lift your legs have grown weak from underuse. Your hip flexors, your glutes, your core. And the signal traveling from your brain to your legs has slowed down a little, so your reactions are not as quick as they once were. Now, here is the good news, and I want you to really hear this. Both of those things, the weakness and the slowed reactions, are reversible. You're not stuck with this. And the path back starts with one simple change. So what is the change? It is this. From this moment forward, every step you take should begin with your heel. This is called a heel strike, and it is the way the human body is designed to walk. Think back to when you were younger, when you never thought about walking at all. Your heel struck the ground first. Then your weight rolled forward through the arch, across the ball of your foot, and finally pushed off through your toes to power the next step. Heel roll, push off. Heel roll, push off. It is a smooth, rolling motion, and it is one of the most stable, efficient movements your body can make. But here is what happens with age. As the muscles weaken and your confidence quietly fades, that heel strike disappears. Your foot starts landing flat, or it lands toe first. Your steps get shorter and lower. You stop rolling through your foot. You stop pushing off, and you start to shuffle. And every month you shuffle, the muscles that create a proper heel strike get a little weaker because you simply are not asking them to work anymore. It is a slow downward spiral, but you can reverse the direction starting today. So what does correcting it actually look like? It is simpler than you think. With each step, I want you to reach your heel slightly forward, just a few inches more than you normally would, and let your heel touch the ground first. Then feel your weight roll forward through your foot. Let your toes push off gently behind you. And most importantly, lift your foot. Do not slide it. Pick it up, reach it forward, and land on the heel. When you do this correctly, a wonderful chain reaction begins. Your step length naturally grows, which improves your balance and your forward momentum. Your foot clears the floor properly, which removes the risk of catching on a rug or a threshold. Your posture straightens because reaching your heel forward pulls your weight up and back out of that hunched forward-leaning shuffle. And your hip flexors, your glutes, and your core is suddenly being asked to work again, which slowly rebuilds the very strength that protects you from falling. One change, one adjustment, but it sets off a chain reaction through your whole body that starts working for you instead of against you with every single step you take. Now, let me show you 5 gentle exercises that will make this new walking pattern feel natural, automatic, and strong. You do not need a gym. You only need a hallway, a sturdy chair, and a little patience. Exercise 1. The conscious heel walk. Why it matters. Before anything else, you need to practice the heel strike itself, slowly and with full attention. If you've been shuffling for months or years, your body has genuinely forgotten the pattern of a proper heel strike. The pathway in your brain that creates it has faded. This exercise wakes it back up, one careful step at a time. How to do it. Find a clear hallway or a long open space along a wall. Stand at one end, with one hand lightly touching the wall for safety. Begin walking, but this time, think about nothing except your heel. With every step, reach your heel forward and let it land first. Feel the contact. Feel your weight roll through the foot. Feel your toes push off. Take 10 steps forward this way. Turn carefully using small steps. Then walk 10 steps back. That is one set. Complete 3 sets and rest for 30 seconds between each one. What to focus on? Slow down. Speed is the enemy here. The slower you walk, the more control you have, and the stronger the signal you send to your brain. Think of this as reprogramming, not just walking. Progress tip. Once flat ground feels comfortable, try it on a different surface, like carpet instead of hardwood. That small change forces your nervous system to adapt, which is exactly what you need for real life. Exercise 2. The high knee march. Why it matters. One of the biggest results of a shuffle gait is that your hip flexors, the muscles that lift your leg, grow weak. And when they are weak, your foot clearance drops. When your foot clearance drops, every rug, and every threshold becomes a trip waiting to happen. This exercise targets those hip flexors directly and rebuilds the lifting reflex that keeps your feet safely above the ground. How to do it? Stand behind a sturdy chair with both hands resting lightly on the back for support. March in place. Lift your right knee toward your chest as high as you comfortably can. Then lower it back down with control. Then lift your left knee. That is one full repetition. Complete 15 repetitions on each side. 30 lifts in total at a slow, deliberate pace. What to focus on? Stand tall the whole time. Do not lean backward as your knee rises. Keep your upper body upright and let the lifting come from your hip, not from momentum. And lower each leg slowly. The lowering is just as important as the lifting. Progress tip. As this gets easier, try the march while moving slowly forward through your hallway, lifting each knee, then placing your heel down first. Now you're combining this with exercise 1, which is the closest thing to real walking practice you can do at home. Exercise 3. The stride length walk. Why it matters. A shuffle gait shortens your stride, often a half of what it once was. And a short stride is an unstable stride. It steals your momentum and pushes your weight into that awkward forward lean. This exercise gently coaxes your stride back toward a safer, more stable length. How to do it? Place 2 pieces of tape on the floor of your hallway, about 18 inches apart. That is your target stride. Stand at one end. Take a step forward and aim to land your heel at, or just beyond the second piece of tape. Then step with the other foot, reaching the same distance. Walk the length of the hallway this way, then turn and come back. What to focus on? Do not lunge or overreach. The goal is a comfortable, natural extension, not a dramatic stretch. If 18 inches feels too far, start with 12. The exact distance matters less than the habit of reaching the heel forward on purpose with every step. Progress tip. Over time, move the tape markers a little further apart, half an inch at a time. Most people are surprised how quickly their stride lengthens once they start training it on purpose. Exercise 4. The slow motion walk. Why it matters. Speed is where good walking falls apart. When you move at your normal pace, you rely on habit and momentum instead of real muscle control. This exercise removes speed completely, forcing every muscle involved in walking to work on its own, with full control. It is one of the most powerful tools there is for relearning safe movement. How to do it? Stand at one end of your hallway, with the wall nearby. Begin walking at the slowest pace you can manage, so slow that each step takes a full 3 to 4 seconds. Lift your foot. Pause for a moment in the air. Reach the heel forward. Lower it to the floor. Feel your weight shift. Push off with the toes. Then begin the next step. Walk the full length of the hallway this way. Turn carefully and return. That is 1 set. Complete 2 sets. What to focus on? This will feel strange, and that is the whole point. Slow motion walking is hard because it removes all the shortcuts. Every little wobble you feel is your balance system being trained. Every small correction your ankle makes is your nervous system getting sharper. Progress tip. Once you feel steady near the wall, try closing your eyes for just 2 or 3 slow steps. That makes the balance challenge much greater and speeds up the improvement you're building. Exercise 5. The obstacle step over. Why it matters. A hallway is a safe place to start, but real life is full of obstacles. Rugs, door thresholds, pet toys, electrical cords, a garden hose. Each one is a trip hazard for someone with a low, shuffling step. This exercise trains your brain and your legs to spot an obstacle, lift your foot high enough to clear it, and land safely on the other side. That is the exact sequence your body needs to perform in a split second in real life. How to do it? Place a pool noodle, a rolled-up towel, or a similar soft, lightweight object on the floor of your hallway. It should be about 4 to 6 inches high. Stand a few feet back, with a wall or chair within reach. Walk toward the obstacle at a calm, controlled pace. When you reach it, lift your right foot deliberately, high enough to clear it with room to spare, and step over. Then lift your left foot and clear it completely. Walk a few steps past it, turn carefully, and come back over it again. Complete 5 passes in each direction, 10 step-overs in total. What to focus on. Do not rush as you approach. Slow down slightly. Pick your foot up early, well before you reach the object, and make a confident, conscious step. The goal is to train your brain to see the obstacle, respond in advance, and clear it with control instead of panic. Progress tip. Once this feels easy, try changing the height of the obstacle, a little higher one week, a different shape the next. You can also practice stepping over it while carrying something light in one hand, which is closer to how real trips actually happen. Now, before you begin any of these exercises, I need you to take a moment and listen carefully, because your safety comes first. If you have recently had a hip or knee replacement, if you're being treated for plantar fasciitis or any other heel condition, or if your doctor has told you to avoid weight-bearing exercise, please speak with your physician or your physical therapist before trying these movements. Some of them may need to be adjusted for your situation. Always practice near a wall, a countertop, or a sturdy chair. Never rush. Wear non-slip footwear, or go barefoot on a safe surface. And if at any point you feel sharp pain, dizziness, or anything that simply does not feel right, stop immediately. There is no exercise here worth risking your safety over. Move at your own pace, and trust your body to tell you when it is ready for more. So let us bring it all together. Over these last few minutes, you have learned that the walking mistake quietly leading to falls after 70 is the shuffle gait, the short, low, sliding step that feels safe but is not. And you have learned the one change that begins to reverse it, the heel strike. Reach your heel forward, land on it first, roll through your foot, and push off through your toes. And you now have 5 gentle exercises to make that change automatic. The conscious heel walk wakes up the pattern in your brain. The high knee march rebuilds the muscles that lift your feet. The stride length walk restores the longer, steadier step you may have lost. The slow motion walk sharpens your balance and control. And the obstacle step over prepares you for the real world, where rugs and cords and thresholds wait. Each one builds on the one before it, exactly the way the body prefers to relearn. When you practice these consistently, not perfectly, just consistently, the change is real and it lasts. The floor begins to feel trustworthy again. Your steps grow longer and more sure. That hunched, careful shuffle slowly gives way to a walk that feels steady and strong. Not through intensity, through patience and repetition. Small movements done a little each day send a clearer message to your body than hard workouts done once in a while. And the reward reaches far beyond walking. A steady, confident step protects your balance. It quietly chips away at the fear of falling that steals confidence from so many older adults. It protects your ability to walk out to the mailbox, to climb your own stairs, to get down on the floor and play with your grandchildren, and to move through your day without wondering whether your legs will hold you. That kind of independence is not a small thing. It is everything. Growing older does not mean giving up control over how your body feels and moves. It means learning which movements your body truly needs at this stage of life, and choosing them every day with care and intention. These 5 exercises are that choice. Simple, safe, and powerful in ways that add up over weeks and months. Now I would love to hear from you. Has your walk become shorter or more careful over the years? Do you ever feel your feet shuffling instead of lifting? Leave a comment with your age and where you're watching from. Your honest experience might be exactly what another viewer needs to read today. If this video helped you, please give a like, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to the channel for more videos made just for you. Thank you for spending this time with me. And here's to walking steady, staying strong, and living life on your own terms.